So why would you plan anything, including your social media? Today we're talking about social media automation and planning. And Ian, I know you're not a big planner.
Whoa, 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 whoa. That's not maybe.
But let's be
Maybe.
honest. We're going to chat and have a conversation about today, maybe why a realtor should consider planning. Because, I mean, there's a lot of content we have to put out these days as agents.
That's what they say. Whoever they
Yeah.
is, they say that we have to put out a lot of content. And you're right. I don't enjoy the process of planning. I enjoy having a lot of things to do. But if you don't plan, you end up with more of a chaotic, a lot of
Well,
things to do.
what's the saying? When you don't plan, you plan to
To fail?
fail.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. So let's see what we're
we
going to
didn't
talk
practice
about
that, by the way. That was
in
good.
today.
The Wired for Real Estate podcast, the show that's all about empowering agents with the latest tech, tools, and tactics to take your business to the next level. If you're a producing agent who's looking to boost your productivity and enhance your marketing effectiveness, you're in the right place.
Join us as we explore the cutting edge strategies and insights that are shaping the real estate industry today. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, our expert guests and hosts will share valuable tips and practical advice to help you succeed.
So sit back, tune in, and get ready to elevate your real estate game with the Wired for Real Estate podcast. I love how you said
All right.
cutting edge.
Yes,
Or
we're going to
somebody
talk
said cutting edge.
all about the things about social media automation. The keyword is automation. Because yes, it takes some work to automate things, but the result I enjoy is time freedom and consistency. I think that's a big thing. Realtors don't have consistency when they're posting or engaging. Someone actually was saying, I was listening to, I think it was Kyle Whistle that said, stop posting, just engage. Because we just push out content all the time and we're not engaging anymore. I thought that was actually very insightful.
Yeah, but when you have a team of like 300 people, it's a different story for Kyle.
Yeah, but you should engage. I think the point was we're so fixated on like posting things and putting content out that we forget to actually engage with the actual side of like the whole purpose of. So actually for me, yes, I can automate my social media. So then it allows me on the everyday to like message people and comment and DM people.
And I feel like that's why you can only automate so many portions of it. Like you can't really automate stories the same way. I mean, you kind of can, but it doesn't work as well. So like today, as I was heading to the airport, and they announced this whole emergency evacuation in the background, like I can't plan that. It's like, some emergency is happening.
When stories are planned and scheduled, you have content out there. So for example, for us, on my realtor side, I always like to make sure that my listings are being featured. And it's just like content that needs to go out there. And so my social media manager will schedule it. But then I don't schedule when I go in stories for behind the scenes. That's like, you said, behind the scenes, I'm just out showing houses, or I'm with my kids, or sometimes I'm just talking. Now, sometimes I do a lot of talking head stuff.
Yes.
Could be scheduled if I filmed a bunch of it.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's too much hassle to film a 30-second blurb to send it and upload it and schedule it. I'm like, no, I'm just going to film that 30 seconds because it's easy. Right.
Yeah.
But there's some valid points to think for scheduling versus just like posting on the fly.
Yeah.
Because it's overwhelming. Lots of people are like, oh my gosh, I have to do what? I have to put this much content on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, on YouTube. Like people always ask me, how are you consistent? The consistency comes from the planning.
Well, I think, yes, I think having ideas and also the priority. So what happens generally, what I've seen happen is agents, they're super consistent until they start getting a lot of business. And then the consistency starts to falter, or weekends, or friends, or something like that.
That's not really consistency. If you get busy and then you're that's not consistency. You've got to be and that's the thing. If you're
It's
busy,
fair weather consistency.
yeah, if you're out with clients, that's just one that what I really enjoyed about having someone helping me, making sure the content is going out, so
Yeah.
that even though I have a really busy day,
Wait a
all
minute,
I have to do is
someone?
behind the scenes. Pardon?
You say someone?
Yeah, I have someone helping me.
Okay. I thought we were
Yeah.
talking about automated.
Well, it is automated.
Okay. Okay.
It's automated because she's actually automating it too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the first step before you automate anything is you have to have a plan. You can't automate whatever's in your head.
Yeah.
You can't be like, okay, just take this out and make it automated. Like, you do have to
Well,
have a system.
that's until Neuralink is available. As soon as that's available, I'm going to be a beta tester over here. I want to automate everything from my head. I don't have to write a thing down. I love it.
I think you'd overload it.
Yes.
It's like that saying, I'm sure you've seen this t-shirt. If you don't have one already, I'm surprised you don't, where it's like my brain is like my browser with like over 50 tabs opened at the same
Yeah.
time. That's my
Yeah.
head. That's most of us.
I don't have that. I got to write that down.
No. So some of the things that I use for my planning before I automate, I have to plan. I use Trello to put down. I have themes and buckets, and I just want to make sure. For me, I'm a little OCD. I want to make sure I have like, yeah, just a little bit. This every week, I want to talk about real estate at least twice a week. I want to position myself as an expert twice a week. Doesn't matter how it
You're
comes out.
talking forward facing on social media.
Mhm.
Got it.
It could be a funny reel where I'm like pointing at things, but then I have a caption that kind of talks about real estate, or it could be a talking head, or it could be a snippet from my YouTube, or it could be a carousel that's educating people on the real estate side. I always want people to see my family. So that could just be a fun reel of us going out or
Yeah.
featuring a local business. And I also want to feature local business, and I want to feature community. So I have those kind of foundational pieces.
So when you say this, are you referring to only reels on Instagram, or does like the family portion, if you wanted to do that, let's say 2 times a week, are you counting stories in that light or only reels
In what light?
or
Planning
posts?
side?
Yeah, for the planning side.
So with the planning side, I just plan the posts slash reels.
Okay.
My posts are either on Instagram or either reels or carousels.
Carousel. Yeah.
Why? Because they get more reach and more engagement.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't do just the post.
I've done zero
Um,
carousels since they announced that carousels are going to be like the new focus. I was like, yeah, but I like reels
well, I
too.
didn't know that was see when they said, "Oh, video, video, video."
Yeah.
That's what we decided to change all to reels.
Okay.
And even before they announced that carousels were going to be a thing,
Mm-hmm.
I decided to go for it because I'm going, it engages people because you're like, you have to look
Yeah.
through. Plus, it features different slides, right? So one time you look at your slides, it features the first one. Then the next one, it features the third one. They're trying different angles. And I did that because it's less work in terms of creating a reel versus
Mm.
creating a carousel. And you can automate both. You
Yes.
can automate both of them. So that's why like this is good. Um, when it comes to stories, I have themes, but I don't plan that out. I just go, okay, this month, this is my theme. I've honestly morphed most of my stories to either featuring listings or my behind the scenes, or I share like affiliate stuff. So if I have
Mm.
my mortgage broker posted something, so I actually have every day my, you know how agents should be making their calls every day, like their your must do list. I
Yeah.
also have a list of I must engage with this many social accounts, I must share this many things as my checklist, I must
Yeah.
add this many new people and whatnot, as kind of part of my process. But that's just the planning side. So
I've
clearly
never
I can't automate all of those things.
I've never done that. I've never said, I need to add this many people. Oh my God, I would die.
I'm just
I just couldn't do it.
I'm just trying to be intentional about growth.
Sure. And I agree. It's just like with clients, just like with transactions, just like with um, the posts themselves. There should be a number that's attached to it. But I feel like the more for myself, and I don't know how many people are like this or going through this kind of internal conflict. I feel like the more that I attach metrics, like the responsibility of metrics to it, the less I want to do it. Is that
And
weird?
that may be just something even deeper within you.
Oh, sure, traumatic
It's
childhood,
like
sure,
no,
whatever.
but it's like a wired it's how
Yeah,
you're wired inside. Like, for
it
me,
is
I
for
want a
real estate.
checklist.
I'm
I
wired to
want
talk to people.
yeah, I want a checklist to know I did the thing and I can move on,
Mm.
right? Like, I'll be honest with you. If I wasn't a realtor, if I wasn't a business owner, would I be on social media? I don't
Oh,
know.
no, no, I don't yeah, I get
Not to
that.
the extent that I am on it now. Like, I see people posting and I go, "You're just a person. Why
Yeah,
are you doing this?"
yeah.
Right? For me,
Well,
it's because I'm an agent.
do you remember the movie with Jim Carrey many, many years ago
The
called The
Mask.
Truman Show?
Oh, yes, yes.
That I remember thinking, how
That's kinda
weird.
like WandaVision.
Yes, WandaVision or the Kardashians or any reality like just reality shows in general. It was always so strange. But now that's just the nature of things is to chronicle what you're doing throughout the day because that's your way to connect with some people.
Yes.
It's kind of creepy, but
So,
also very interesting
this is
from a
why I
psychological
think
perspective.
agents have such an opportunity to establish themselves because you don't need to be on TV.
Yes.
You don't need to be syndicated because
Yeah.
you are syndicated with
Yes.
social media.
Yes.
And so I think that's why people get overwhelmed because there's some agents, right? Our wirings are all different. Sometimes the agents want to be out front like yourself and want to be seen and whatnot. Then the other agents are like, I don't want people to see me. I just want to sell houses.
Yeah.
So it's a
Well, how do you
different
think
kind
you
of
sell houses if we talked about this before. If you're standing in front of a room of 3 people or 300 people or even 3,000 people, your message is your message, but it's so much nicer if it hits 3,000 people.
unless you're an introvert who absolutely loathes being in front of people.
Well, but then social media actually increases that opportunity tremendously because you don't
Right.
have
Because
to be in
then
front of people
you don't actually have to physically be in front of people.
physically, right?
You're still in front of people. And I think that's something that you need to, I mean, that's a whole nother conversation
Yeah, yeah.
when it comes to that. But for automations, once you have your plan in place, now Ian doesn't like to do the planning. He likes to be sporadic. So we're not saying that you must do automations. I'm just saying it brings a whole level of new freedoms to do more of the things that you want to do versus the things that, I mean, to put out that content every single day, it's a lot of work. And so there's lots of different systems that you can use. I'm going to ask ChatGPT.
So
Um, what do you have a question? I was going to ask it. What are the best ways to automate social media with realtors for realtors? I feel like you have a question to ask that you're not
it's just a
answering.
really weird kind of statement. Like I have videos on TikTok that were seen by more people than would watch. I don't know why I pulled up Fox, but like Fox News. Oh, because it said it was the number one. Then Fox News on any given day.
Well, and
It's
okay,
creepy.
so you want to know a cool um, AI hack? Maybe you told me this.
I probably did.
Video.ai.
Ooh.
Have you heard
Is
of
it
that
a
one?
Vidya.ai? Is it
It's
the
it's
clips?
spelled funny. Yeah, it
The
clips
clips? Yeah.
everything out. So my son had been helping me with this, but I told him to try it out because free. And
Okay.
he said all you got to do is put a YouTube link into the thing, and it will churn out TikTok version, an Instagram Reel
Yes.
version,
Yes.
all of the versions. So I think that's the thing too with automation. You put in the work and the plan and do one style, and then you can like redistribute it so that you can automate everything and that you can actually automate it. Now, when I asked ChatGPT about what are the best social media automation tools for realtors,
Mm.
they put Hootsuite, which I don't. Bleh, that's like such an old
Yeah.
school thing. I don't like Hootsuite.
Well,
Then there's what?
you say old school. I think what it is they early adopter. I would almost even say one of the first to market, right? One of the first to market. And so they got a little big. They got very big.
Mhm.
It's like Zoom. It's so big. Everybody knows it. It became a verb almost, where
Yeah,
everybody just uses Hootsuite when they want to manage. But with
but
that
it
comes
says posted by
cost.
Hootsuite on the thing.
Wait, say it again.
It says it on your social post that it's been posted by Hootsuite.
Well, that's because of like when Hootsuite did it. Well, it depends. I think it depends if you pay and how much you pay. So like the free version is going to say by Hootsuite, but if you're willing to pay a ridiculous amount, like $80 a month or whatever, we'll look at the price later. But if you're willing to pay, then it can remove that. So now
Oh, I don't
everybody's
know.
got these free to play options, but once you have so many accounts or once you are doing so many posts, they're adding in their flavor until you pay.
Well, there's Buffer.
Yep.
I've heard of
Use
that
that.
one.
Yep. You
There's
use that
Sprout.
now?
No, I don't use Buffer.
Okay.
I use Planable. There's
I've
Sprout
used
Social.
Hootsuite. I've used Buffer. I've used Sprout
Sprout
for
is the
like
one that has all the
12
analytics as
minutes.
well.
Which
It's
one?
expensive. Hmm?
Which one?
Sprout Social.
Yes. Yeah.
Meet Edgar, I've never heard of.
I've never heard of that either.
Focuses on recycling and repurposing your social media content.
That's pretty clever because you think
We're
about how
talking
many
about that.
posts, how many reels you've put out lately or old reels that people have not seen or old
Right. Because
Instagram TV videos that people
they
haven't
see
seen
it
that much.
and then it goes away.
Yes.
That's the thing
Well,
about Instagram and
it doesn't go
Facebook.
away. It's still there, but you got to like
Yeah,
scroll
but
through
they're
or
not set up to find like YouTube,
yes.
right?
Yeah. Well, so TikTok started doing that. Instagram will probably follow suit because they can't figure out what they want to do. So
Nobody knows what they want to do. Social Pilot,
I
I
haven't
don't know
used
what that
that.
is. I've heard of Coast Schedule,
I haven't used that.
but I haven't heard of them. There's some popular ones out there. I've used Planoly.
Yep. I've used it once or twice.
There's another one. I wanted to say it's like Tailwind.
You know what killed me? Here's what got me with most of these planning apps because I did try it. I wanted to be a good little realtor boy and plan things out. But what happened is, like, I want to say Planly was one of them. You put in the post, you set it all up, you schedule, and then it's like, but you have to hit the button in order for it to actually post. And I'm like, the whole point of automation is so
Yes.
I could be asleep at 9:23 in the morning, but you still post.
Yeah, that is definitely an irk. So that's also, are you paying for it or are you not paying for it? It
Okay.
also has to do with your account type. Now, something that's really weird. I have a creator type on my realtor one so I can get the better music.
Okay. Yep.
And on my coaching one, I
Business.
have a business one.
Yeah. So you can
And
get
so I
the
was trying to
elevator
collab.
music. It's so bad.
Yes. I was trying to
So bad.
collab the two posts.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't work because it said my business thing didn't have access to that music.
Oh, sidebar, you could use one of those AI music generation apps for your business account, and then it'll sound better, but still won't be
Will it sound
copyrighted.
better? Well, anyways, I digress. So then I changed it to creator account. Okay,
Okay.
so now I can collaborate on the two because I was posting something about Mother's Day, I believe it was. So I wanted it on both accounts. Now my dumb scheduler says it can't auto post on my coaching, which is really funny because it can auto post on my realtor one, and they're both creator accounts.
Is one of them based? Well, so we know that Instagram specifically gives everybody different feature sets. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
if you have the same type of audience or same size audience or same accounts. They're like, I'll give you this, and I'm not going to give it to you just to mess with you.
I
Right?
know
Because
it's
they're
really
always
weird.
testing things, and so maybe
Sometimes
that's
people
it.
don't have the scheduling option that we're going to talk about today in your
Yes.
Instagram.
Yes.
But I'll show you. So this is Planable. Now, obviously, this costs money, but I want to show you. I like it because I can go across many platforms. So I've got my realtor one and I've got my coaching one. I've got two different workspaces. On my realtor one, I have connected Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Google, YouTube, TikTok, and there's a hashtag list. So if I wanted to see what do I have posted on all of the things, you just click on this thing and it'll show you based on like the little emblems, like where it's being posted. And then what happens too is you can click on this. And if you're collaborating with anyone, I can hit approve. As soon as it's approved, it'll auto schedule. Oh, it's not showing you.
No. I'm seeing just your homepage.
Why is that? Oh,
because it doesn't like you. Me.
Because it did this. There we go. Oh my gosh, it's a scary face. So let me just go back to this calendar. So it shows you across the calendar. It shows you, I want a calendar view, just easier for me to see. But you can see these little logos here. It shows you like if it's on Facebook or LinkedIn. It's really easy too. If I want to click this and I want to share it, I can actually like share it like this, or Where's the activity? You can copy to, and then I can grab it and copy to my Google My Business. Except it says it doesn't support video, but just so you guys know, video does work on Google. It just doesn't want to do it on the scheduler. So that's kind of annoying.
Wait. On Google what?
Google My Business for an
Oh,
update.
right. Yeah,
right?
it's 29 seconds, and it has to be less than 1080p.
Right, and it doesn't like to do that. It won't schedule because most of my stuff is made for Instagram, which is a little bit. So if I click it on LinkedIn, it will work. So I can say I want this one also on my LinkedIn. I just hit copy to one page, and so now, oh, it says the wrong format. But if this was the proper format, it would automatically just put everything on there. So I like it because of that. It's got my YouTube channel stuff too. You can look at it at different views. You can look at it through a feed. So you can just take a look at what is going on. They have AI. So literally we'll click, you can hit rewrite with AI so you can change your captions that way.
So this is Planoly has AI? Oh, work.
This is Plannable.
Plannable.
So if I'm in here and I'm looking at this write-up, I can click rewrite with AI. And then it'll like make it shorter, surprise me, make it punchier, expand the concept. Let me see, what does it say? Let's play around with this and see what it says if I make it punchier. I'm not sure if it'll actually auto change everything. But I mean, we could throw this into ChatGPT and say the same thing, but it's doing it right here. Oh, it's giving right here.
Do you like that every single one of these apps is starting to incorporate the AI component? I think it obviously makes it, personally, I think it makes it easier. But if they're, I don't know.
The AI is taking over.
Well, so like there's so many variables in there. Like the first question is, are they all using the same API? Like, are they just using the OpenAI API to write it? So it's really all the same information. So that's the first thought. And then the second thought is, does this mean that people that are using this exclusively can't like have their own free thought process to put it? Anyway,
it helps you, at least it helps you come up with content too.
Yeah.
So this is what we had. It'll cost you money not to use a realtor because you have blah, blah, blah. And then it's suggesting, don't make the mistake of buying a home without a realtor. You'll be throwing away your hard-earned money and missing out on expert guidance and market insights. See, that's more appealing, I think, than what this was written.
It's appealing, but that's not how you would say it. So if somebody's in a conversation or on the phone with you, I mean, it may, if it learns to articulate the way that
it does seem a little bit salesy here at the end. Like, I don't like that. That's why we don't, right? Like, it's a little less. I don't also understand why it says HTTP.
Because there's that, and then it has the .ca and no space. Yeah.
So you can actually put your own comments here, and it'll schedule comments too, which is really weird. You can go in under. Yeah, I know. Under activity, I only paid for myself, but I could pay for another user, and then I could talk to my assistant on here.
Actually, let's take a step back. Scheduling comments. So Instagram rewards comments in the first 3 hours ish. I think that's the time. And so if you're scheduling engagement, stuff like, oh, also this, and guess what else? Like if you do stuff like that on a video or a carousel, and that's scheduled for right after your post, it should keep giving it that little bit of bump. It's like changing a list price on a property, $5.
Well, I've never actually scheduled a comment because I thought it was weird, but now that you say that, maybe I'll try that.
Try it. I would beta test that.
And you see how it says start by leaving the first comment? Because the thing is, I can go back into my old ones and I can see comments in here. There were no comments.
Someone else left it. So if I left a comment on your account, it shows up in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
These are all old posts.
The other thing that you touched on, which really makes this extremely powerful, and I think you just saved my life, is the fact that your assistant can go in here and manage as well. Because my big thing is, I don't want to be giving my password to 100 people, and I don't want to make it a business account just so I can have 9 people log into my account. I want if somebody's talking to me that I'm actually there having the conversation.
People who manage social media accounts, right? Because There are a lot of companies out there now that will manage your social media.
Yeah.
So this is a way to do it. I just really like this because now I can, like, I have a meeting with my social media manager tomorrow, and
Yeah.
I'm going to look at the coming week of content.
How much is Planoly for like the
This is
23 accounts?
plannable.
Plannable. Sorry.
I don't know, actually.
You're like, it's the necessary
It's
cost.
not much. They're all very similar price points. You can
So
upload different posts. Like, see here, I've got
did we
saved posts.
did we talk about whether it's posting natively or not?
It is posting natively.
So it's posting natively on every app. There aren't any limitations. So like LinkedIn is natively,
Correct. So if I go into
TikTok is natively.
I go to LinkedIn. So what will happen is we'll post a different thing on LinkedIn, and you can also, by the way, you
By
can
the way.
customize the content according to the platform. So just because I'm posting this one video, I don't have to have the write up exactly the same. This is what you
Sure.
see on Facebook. On
Sure. Sure.
LinkedIn, I can change what you're going to see on LinkedIn versus Facebook.
Mm.
See how I can like literally see
Yeah.
this button, sync content.
Yep. Yep.
So if I turn it off and I go into LinkedIn, I can rechange it so that it's only going to look this way for LinkedIn and look a
Yeah.
different way for Facebook. That's kind of, again, to me, that's a stage of like optimization. If you haven't even gotten to the point of scheduling, I say just schedule first.
Are you pointing at me in the camera right now? Like, is that what you're doing? If you haven't even gotten to the point of schedule.
No. I was talking to the general public of
Okay.
people who don't schedule.
Yeah.
And I think that scheduling has its place. I don't think it should. I think that someone who's creative like yourself maybe finds planning to suck the life out of the creativity. But I think you can
Yes.
still,
You said it very
yes,
well.
but
Yes.
you can be creative, but just throwing, you're being all creative and you're just giving it to whoever. Let's say you're not the one doing this because it takes the life out of you. You make all your pretty cool creative things, you throw it over to whoever is going to put it into here. Now you can actually be a little bit more strategic on when these things show up.
Can I tell you my kryptonite?
What?
My kryptonite right now is, so let's say I go to a house, or let's say two houses, and I shot 10 different videos, all different styles. Some are fun, some are boring, but they are transitions or whatever. Like, I've done all these videos. My kryptonite is the upload process, because I've taken
Oh,
them all on my phone, and so even if I had a camera, oh my God, it'd be so much worse if I had a camera. But because I took it all on my phone, uh, the process of physically uploading it to a place that I know that my VA could access, for example. Now, I do have it all saved in cloud storage, but that doesn't hit um, until I'm on Wi-Fi. I mean, I guess it does that, but then I'm not going to go and rename it or label it. So that's my breakdown right
yeah.
there.
And yes, I'm planned, but I'm still creative. So here's the thing, and I've just started to get better at, what's the word? I've been getting better at trying, because when you have other people help you, you need to make yourself all your stuff available, right? So
I
one of the
know
hacks
that
I've
letting go
done,
process is rough.
yes, one of the hacks I've done, it seems pretty simple, is my Google Drive app. I literally have a shared drive account for marketing. I'll
Yes.
create a folder called, like, I was at a ice cream place called Drizzle.
Yep.
I created a folder. I went into the local restaurants, created a folder called Drizzle,
Yep.
and said upload, because it's one button, upload.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
it just grabbed everything from I selected from my phone photo roll,
Yeah.
hit upload, done. And now now it doesn't, not right away. Now when I go plan once a month, I can go and like grab the Google Drive link from Drizzle and put it into my Trello card, and
Yeah.
that person who's creating it now can have access. That did take some discipline on my end because I was so bad at that. I would just like film
So
things but not put it anywhere.
so are you geotagging Drizzle while you're there, or do you just
No, I
remember
wasn't
that it's
geotagging
from,
nothing.
do you just remember that it was from Drizzle? How
No,
many
I
videos do
literally
you,
had to make sure that when I was there, I uploaded.
oh, while you were there. Got it.
Yeah.
That's the part. That right
Otherwise,
there is the
forget it.
answer.
Like it's been, I've tried so many different things. I've tried asking my kids to help me take the photo. It's a pain, and you do have to grab that.
I'm
But
glad to know that even the planner had a hard time with that particular
So
point. That's my
this
deficit.
plannable thing does require this is I'll tell you this. It automates the post, but I don't do this. My social media manager creates the reel and
Yeah.
throws it on here. And it is a bit of a pain in the rear end because she creates it on Instagram, downloads it with no audio onto like CapCut or whatever,
Yep.
screen records so that we have the sound,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then on CapCut stitches it together and then uploads it onto here because you cannot, when you download the stuff, you want the music on there. Now, Instagram is
Well,
smart enough to know that when you upload it, it will add it back to the list of the song.
TikTok just changed their rules where now if you download it, um,
The
you can
watermark's
download
gone.
it without the watermark and without without the watermark. Without the watermark.
Yeah, I don't know about the audio. I think that's something to do with like an actual copyright thing.
Oh,
Is my
sure.
guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I know that one of them you could download it and you wouldn't have the audio on there yet. And maybe it's Instagram.
It's Instagram.
Yeah.
I'll show you this as Planoly, what I used to use.
Yeah, that's the one that I had used a couple times. I've never used the other one. You know what killed me? That's what it was. It has no desktop app.
Yeah,
That's what
I
got me.
know.
I was like,
And
listen, I'm all for mobile advantage and everything, right? But sometimes I just want to sit down with my 4 giant monitors and
yes.
type it up and like look
Also,
at
it
it and
only
move stuff
shows
around
TikTok
while
and
I'm playing a
Instagram
game
and
and watching a
Pinterest.
YouTube video.
It only shows these three. Like it doesn't
That's
show me all of the
that's a
things.
huge limitation.
Yeah. And I don't know if I can show you my
Well, I mean,
so
it has icons over to the right. See, so it has Pinterest and Twitter.
it says YouTube and stuff too.
Yeah,
I don't know. Let me just see what else it says. All-in-one solution,
liar.
plan and schedule. So the thing I find hard with any of these, I still haven't figured out the planning aspect because maybe I've been using Trello for so long.
Yes.
This is hard for me because I like to just plan text.
Mm.
And then she can take it and create whatever she wants with the images and the ideas. See, you're the one that likes creating it. I don't. I'm like, here's a concept, you create it. You tell me which to film. If you find a trending audio, you tell me to film it and I'll film it.
I don't. We gotta be careful with. We gotta think through that. I don't like creating. You know what I like? I like doing new things.
Right.
And so every time I find a challenge, the creative process is how do I overcome that challenge? So if it's something I don't know how to do, then I want to do it. But I
Right.
can't have somebody
You
else
get
do it. Then I
bored
didn't
with like
overcome anything.
I already know how to do this.
Yeah, but then I don't do it. I don't like it anymore.
Right.
I
Right.
already know, which is why it's so hard. Like once you know like a certain level about a topic, then coming back and saying, "Oh wait, you don't know what the upload button does?" Oh, okay. Like that completely. It gets really, really challenging to go back and talk
Just
about.
to go back to Planoly,
Yeah, sorry.
TikTok reel short, not actual YouTube video.
Yeah.
And an idea pin.
So
So
only
I don't
short
know.
form.
My social media manager, she really likes using this. I don't. And she doesn't like using Plannable. And I'm like, well, and I find too, like, we're actually bringing it back in house because I used to have my assistant in house do the marketing. And
Okay.
we're bringing it back in because as a realtor, I'm so specific. And I find all realtors have different styles of what they want. I
Absolutely.
want to start putting call to action for every single post. I want lead magnets. I want to build my email list. There's so many things I want to do that is hard to
The third party's not
completely.
going to grab it, right?
No, this is my board of planning. So if I look at the calendar power up, like this is how I plan. I just post things. I'm like, here's what I want. I just put that here, and then they just create it from the documents. So that's what it is. It's pretty boring and plain. It just shows you like, here's what I want. And I have a framework that I've set aside of like I said earlier, how many things I want. So I do this. She then creates it and then puts it onto the Plannable to then distribute it automatically. So it's not a fully automated process. There is still creation in there. So that's kind of what automation I'm talking about. I don't like when you look at ChatGPT saying Buffer and Hootsuite. That is like basically just talking about the platforms themselves. Like I don't know what Hootsuite's at right now because I'm sure it's more money than it used to be. Oh, Loomly was another one too. I looked at that
Oh
also.
yeah. I've used that. I've used Loomly.
Yeah,
That one was another where you needed it didn't
oh,
it
bots
didn't
current.
have an option where it would post automatically. That was Loomly, from what I can remember.
Okay.
You
This
know
one
what else?
has it.
Do all of the ones that does Plannable have short codes for your links, short links?
What do you mean?
So like Hootsuite, I think it was, created
This
owl.ly.
create and copy
So,
link. Let's see.
so yeah, it would take a link and make it
Oh, right
super
here.
short. Yeah. Yeah, but that's
Okay.
still not tiny. It's smaller. See,
Yeah.
Plannable, like
Yeah, it's not very
plnbl.io.
long. I mean, I don't know. I would never use this though.
Well, so the idea is that if you take the big link, so let's say you wanted these call to actions, if you ever
Yeah.
had to post one of those links anywhere, like imagine the original link, how long it was.
Right. But
It's
why would you use the link? Why wouldn't you just share the actual post?
Well, it depends on the app. So a great example is in your Instagram bio.
Oh, speaking of your Instagram bio, did you know that you don't need to use Linktree anymore?
Well, I know they added a lot of, or they added multiple links that you could put in there on your own. But
Yes.
now I'm curious how intuitive that is for people, because people like less to click on.
So when I looked at an account that had it,
Uh-huh.
I clicked on it and that one had 4 options. When you click on it, it then came up with 4 options to then click. It was actually quite easy to use. Like it
Okay.
wasn't as daunting as you think it would be,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Well, I mean, I know people that still don't use the notes feature because they haven't figured it out, or the broadcast feature for that same reason. Like Instagram has so much now, and people are just skating over a lot of it because they're
Right.
like,
Okay. So we
too
didn't
much.
talk about Instagram also has the scheduling option. Now they
Yes,
don't
that's
make
the
it
point of
super
this
easy
conversation.
to find. You have
Yes,
to click advanced settings.
yes,
When you click that, then schedule option shows up.
yeah. A great
Apparently some
example of
people don't
something
have
that
it
is just
still.
not intuitive.
Yeah, and my recommendation if you don't have it still and you're in the US or Canada, delete your Instagram and put it back on your phone.
Did you just say, oh, delete the app off your phone
Yes.
or empty the cache? You could delete the cache.
Yeah, don't delete your account.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're gonna have people in here delete. She told me to delete my Instagram account. I'm gonna say,
No.
listen, nobody told you to do that.
No, I delete the app off the phone because I had an issue with TikTok
Yeah,
and no one could figure it out. And so I deleted the actual app off of the phone and put it back on, and all of a sudden it worked again.
yeah.
Now, if you have saved drafts, when you delete the app off your phone, those drafts will be gone. So beware because you don't want to lose your drafts. But I
Delete
like
those
this because
drafts.
then I'm not having to have drafts anymore. You can just schedule it. Now I
Well,
don't
I mean,
know.
but you're scheduling drafts, which means you have drafts. So if you like lost your phone tomorrow, your 10 drafts or however many you have are gonna be
Are you
toast.
sure? Because it's scheduled. It was like it's sent up to Instagram. So I don't
I mean, it,
know. I'm not testing that out. I'm not
yeah,
testing
don't,
that
yeah.
theory out.
Well, but it's a good thing to know, right? Because
It's
why would the draft also be gone off your phone if you delete the app? If it's already scheduled to Instagram, right? It's scheduled, but it's on
I've
your
never
local
tried to
device.
delete my app off the phone while I have something scheduled,
It's on your local device.
which is very interesting because Instagram could host things, but it doesn't.
Uh, it's it's the speed, because you notice as soon as you hit publish, then you'll see the little bar going across, and now it's
Yes.
putting it on the app. Right now,
Well,
it's
how
just
many times
sitting
has
on
it
your
glitched
phone.
and not worked?
Yeah.
That's annoying too. But the scheduling option
Okay.
natively in Instagram is a good option. You can actually do it on the desktop because Facebook and Instagram, they're meta, right? So you can
Yeah.
actually schedule from the desktop version as well. And you can schedule on both Facebook and Instagram. But the funny thing is, you can't schedule stories on Instagram natively, but you can schedule them on Planoly and Planable.
Because that's not the intent of stories. Like I was saying, the
Yes.
intent is to be raw and in the moment.
Right. But you've got
And you're
companies,
like,
like
I'm going to
big
break that
companies
rule.
that they're not going to be raw in the moment. Coca-Cola is not going to be raw and in the moment.
I don't know. If you look at some of their stuff, they're pretty timely. Well, a brand is it operates a little differently, but they're very on trend with what's happening in the world, is how I'll say it. So
So I think there's a place for planned content, and then there's a place to put in the relevant time sensitive stuff too.
yeah.
Because there's some content like evergreen content that you see on YouTube that can be planned and put on anytime. But then if you like, for me, I like to use the green screen option for Instagram
Mm,
as a relevant time sensitive thing where I'm talking about a news article.
yeah.
But I don't think I've ever scheduled that one out. I've never
That's
automated
it.
that one.
Yeah, like we've got one of our cities has a brand new Costco coming, and an H-E-B, which is another big store in that area, where there wasn't anything for a long time. And so it's kind of a huge deal. And so that's a great green screen article, but it only matters right now, like for the next month. It opens in June.
Right. Then it's
After
not
that,
as
nobody will want to
fresh.
see it anymore. So,
Well,
yeah.
and even if you think about, I mean, we've got drone footage and the grass was yellow. Now it's green. So
Yeah.
when you plan things too far in advance, then it looks silly because you're going, it's not winter anymore. Why is there winter footage?
I had a listing that I had up, and I was sharing. You know how you can share the listing, um, or promote the listing even after it's sold? You know how you can do that? Well, it's funny because that particular, like, like a just sold. Let's say it's a just sold card or something, right? Anyway, the idea is that that house was during Halloween, and so it had like spider webs and a giant spider in the yard, and I think even like a snowman, no grass. And yeah, I forgot. I wasn't thinking through it when I was posting. So like, if I would have automated that, I just wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have
Here's another
seen that.
thought. We had a conversation about our CRMs the other day, and
Yep.
Chime has automations
Yes.
with social media.
Yes.
So that's another option for when it comes to listings, because you were just talking about listing marketing.
Yeah, so I think they're going to make it a lot more robust. Right now, it still feels like a product, an add-in product
Right.
on Chime, right? Like they want to have Canva, but what they have is like the post part, like, and maybe
Yeah.
two
Well,
design templates.
I mean, like my assistant was quite shocked that she's like, hey, we could just push this button
Yes,
and it will just post things. I mean,
yes,
that in theory is technically automation. Automation doesn't have to be this daunting, you know, thing.
it does.
Anyone can automate anything.
Okay, it
I
does.
mean, if you think about it, setting an alarm and the alarm going off at 7 o'clock the next morning, that's in theory automation. If you think about it to that basic level.
I'm here. I'm gonna tell you, I I had a coffee maker that was not a Keurig. It was like this $20 coffee maker, but it had a built-in timer where it would start the coffee so that when I woke up, it would be perfect. Like it would be ready for me.
Yeah.
And I went one step further, and I put that into one of those plugs that I can control with my phone and sync that with if this, then that. If this, then yeah. So basically, I'd wake up, and whenever I got up and start to walk downstairs, my coffee would automatically be brewing. Did you know you can't do that with a Keurig because the
No,
power button has to be pressed?
I did not know that.
Oh my god! Like,
So
anyway, you say automation, and that's my first thought is like I
there you
want it to be
go.
fully automated.
We talked about some schedulers that is a version of automation, but what you just said, this, that, if this then that, that's Zapier.
It is. It
So
is.
if
It's
you
just
take a
like
look
it.
at Zapier, there are ways that you can automate your social media with that too.
So you know how you talk about Trello all the time? I use ClickUp, and we use different tools. Every single tool I will vet if it's in Zapier or if then this then that. Like if it's not automatable, I don't even want to mess with it.
Well,
Is
and
that
it's funny
bad?
because do you remember ifttt.com?
Yeah. Oh, I probably still have some of those running
Yeah.
somewhere.
If that's like that was the original Zapier.
I had it taking. Just want to talk about databases from our last what that podcast we did. I would have it where it would take people's information from I think it was KV Core at the time, and move it into Google Sheets just so I had a redundancy in case KV Core, since it was the beta, like got screwed up or messed up and I lost their
Right.
data. That was
But
great.
see, I'm pretty confident you could probably do some sort of Zapier. I mean, I don't have that kind of automation set up. I do it where it's, let me just see on Zapier, because I bet you there is something that you can do. I don't
For what?
know.
Well, if it has like Philips Hue device, like what are we talking about? We're talking
Social
about houses. What
media,
are you talking about? Because
social media automation is our
social
theme today.
media. Yeah. Oh, you can automate a lot of stuff via Zapier. A lot of it gets paid. So like Facebook lead pages are paid, but regular Facebook stuff isn't, like Facebook posts. And then duplicatable stuff. So like if you post it on Facebook, you can also post it on Twitter, also post it on Pinterest, also post it on Instagram. But yeah,
Yeah.
lead ads, I believe, is a paid one. Messenger might be a paid one.
Well, I have a paid account, but let's see. So Facebook with Instagram. Yeah. I don't know what you could do with it. When this happens, when a new post by you,
Yeah.
I post on Facebook,
Or new posts to
then
your timeline, which is fun. Imagine that. Someone posts on your timeline and then it goes to your story on Instagram.
I wonder if
Somebody
you
will
can
mention.
actually, yeah, so because we're doing social media automation, but there's so many things you can do when it comes to, I wonder if there's, can you do TikTok? Oh, yes, you can. Okay, so tell me what that is, because I'm not familiar with TikTok lead generation.
TikTok is this thing that got really popular in the last couple
Yes,
years.
thank you. I meant this part.
Mm. Lead generation, I have no clue. You know what's I have a lot of access to things in
It
TikTok
says
that I
new
don't use.
lead.
Yeah.
You can get leads from TikTok,
Well,
like through
you can
TikTok.
boost stuff. So yeah, I guess I could see that happening. The question is, what's the input form? So I just got offered to do a shop my t-shirt store on TikTok. I haven't done it yet, but I thought that's pretty cool. I might put that in one day. Except my TikTok audience won't care about my t-shirts, right? Because it's not the
No.
same audience.
You know what I
So
was thinking too? WordPress is also a social media. So I wonder if you post
well,
like a Facebook post or something.
yeah, you can put it on WordPress and so you could have it do the blog, you could have it hit on a bunch of different social media.
Update post, upload media.
Yeah, it's good.
Then you don't have to manually do it. So there's lots of, I'd say if you were going to do anything with social media automation, I think the big takeaway to me is you have to plan before you automate. You don't know how to automate if you don't even know what you're doing. But if you want, hey, I want Facebook to go to WordPress, now I have my blogs going up every single day without me doing anything because you've created a zap. And I think that you can get 3 free zaps per account.
It's 3 single level zaps,
Right.
right? And then you only get so many of them. It's like 100 a month.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
when you're just starting out, you can just start basic and then it can
Well, you
get
think that until you realize that like every text can be a zap. And you're like, oh, holy
well,
crap.
maybe you could also build
So,
multi-level zaps where you're
yeah.
like,
Well, you got
I
to
want
pay
to
for
go
the
to Facebook
multi-level.
and to WordPress, to Instagram, to blah, blah, to Google My Business, all
Oh
that
yeah.
stuff.
I actually remember one of the if this then that's that I used a lot. It was anytime I added a new contact onto my phone, put that contact information on my calendar so I knew when I met them. That was a big one for me. So now I
Oh,
know that I actually met this person at some place and some time because I never
yeah.
knew that.
I feel like this is inspiring me to create some more zaps in my
Yeah.
life.
Let's do it. That you know what? We should just sit and have an episode about zaps. If you like that idea, put that in the comments. Let's talk about like what are some really engaging, like really cool zaps that you would like to see if it's possible, or
Well, and so for today's challenge,
challenge. Okay.
I say, or decision that you need to make today, if you're going to do one thing,
And
go
one
onto
thing
the
only.
set up a free account on Zap and create one automation with your social media. Just
Okay.
one.
Okay, but what if they already have Zapier and they're like, awesome? Then what is their action?
So they already set up Zaps for
Yeah.
their social media?
They have a few zaps out there. What is their option?
Do you
What do we
really
need
think
them to
people
do?
have automated their social media?
What was that?
Do you really think people have automated their social media?
No. But where I was going to go with that is if you're
I haven't
already
even
on
done it, and
Zapier and you feel like you're using it at a pretty proficient level, then the
I say
challenge is what is
your
something
challenge should be that you share your
exactly
best Zap
best Zap.
that's
I want to see
on
that
social media.
because
I want to see that in the comment section.
yeah, we can all learn from that. That's really cool. All right,
So don't let indecision
be the
be the
decision.
decision.
Thanks, y'all.